M41A pulse rifle, 10mm, then over and under 30mm pump-action grenade launcher. Feel the weight. Okay, what do I do?
Welcome to Monkey John Collective, and this video is all about this. This is our Aliens pulse rifle build. If you've been following us on Facebook, Instagram, this build has been in the workshop for maybe 2 years now, even longer possibly, before it first started out. Had a quick idea about it and kind of quickly hot glued a couple of shells together, and then it sat for months and months and months. And it's a project I've dipped in and out of over the last couple of years, and then I'd kind of got most of the shell work done to a point I was quite happy with it, and I kind of thought, Foam Fest is coming up, I thought push through and get this finished for Foam Fest next weekend, so we can take it along to the event and have it on display. So yeah, I mean, as a lot of you out there, I'm a big fan of the Aliens movie. It was a big action sci-fi blockbuster when I was a young lad. And yeah, this is probably one of the most iconic kind of screen sci-fi kind of blasters out there, and obviously it's obviously a big thing because Hasbro themselves are making a version of this which should be out who knows when, as their pre-order things go. But yeah, I'd actually started this a couple of years ago, so I was way ahead of Hasbro, and they're obviously copying us again. And yeah, as I say, this was just absolutely fantastic to finally get this finished after such a long time. I'm planning to do a kind of Colonial Marine cosplay as well. I've got a lot of bits and bobs of the cosplay. Just kind of need to make the armour next, and this will be a great addition to the cosplay, as well as being a kind of serviceable Nerf blaster that I can use at different events. So obviously, if you recognise, it's the main shell is a rapid strike. But I actually used 2 rapid strikes and took the top rail off a second rapid strike and added it on the back here to extend the top rail. So obviously the original rail just goes from here to here. So we've got 2 rapid strike top rails extended along. The only 3D printed part on this blaster is a kind of Picatinny rail on the top here, which was a 3D printed part which we've put on. Top rail took a lot of work because it still butterflies apart, so getting these lined up and epoxied together and everything lining up perfectly took a lot of time, a lot of hand filing. This is all old school integration work, so yeah, lots of plasticard and epoxy and putty and sanding and filing, and it's one of the reasons it took so long. As I say, that's the only 3D printed part on it, the rest of it's done completely by hand. These side panels here are all plasticard to give it that kind of flat, kind of angular look that the pulse rifle has. Obviously the Rapid Strike stock has a kind of triangle section here which we've chopped out, and then we had to extend the battery, extend the stock area here because this is where we're actually storing the battery. So we had to build this whole section up out of plasticard and putty and stuff, and have that all lined up perfectly so we can pop the battery cover on and off, and yep, it works absolutely seamlessly. It came out really well. I'm really happy with all my integration work on this. We've got a lot of these angles and everything really sharp and fine. All these joins and seams here. Spent a lot of time getting them just right and filing, and yeah, a lot of work went into that. The front end here is obviously not a rapid strike, and this is off a long shot front gun. So we kind of chopped off the kind of top end of the long shot front gun and installed it here. Obviously getting this all lined up and getting all these lines right was a lot of work again. And we wanted to install a mega dart launcher in this. I did look at various different ideas, but I eventually just went for a big shock here, kind of underneath, which lines up with the barrel of the old long shot front gun. So you prime that here underneath and it fires with the trigger there. I was wanting to make the pump grip kind of actuate the trigger, but I've just not had time to do that to get this finished for Foam Fest next weekend, but it might be something I revisit because there's just a little play there in the pump grip, so you could have the blaster primed and just use the pump grip to trigger the Mega Shot. The Mega Shots had we've fitted a nice PVC barrel in there which is nice and really snug, and we've taken the air restrictor out, so this has a lot of pop on it. Not chronographed this because yeah, I've just not had time and my chronograph's already packed away for Foam Fest. Inside we're running a Heston Systems cage on Kraken motors with Bulldog wheels, so we'd be expecting, on the 3S battery that's in it now, be expecting just under 130 FPS with that. And if I drop that down to a 2S, we're probably looking at about 100 FPS. So yeah, it's still a fairly usable blaster. As you might have noticed as well in the video, the noise of the trigger. So I've taken out the full auto of this. Just a personal preference, I'm not a fan of full auto blasters. I don't particularly use them a lot. I only own one full auto blaster, and that's my FDL, and I never really run it on full auto. And I just wanted to have a solenoid. I wanted this to have a nice weight to it and feel, and just the noise of the solenoid there. It gives you a nice clicky noise and a good bit of feedback to it as well. So yeah, along with the metal cage and the solenoid, it weighs quite hefty and it's a good kind of prop replica. As I say, we didn't have an ammo counter. Well, I do have an ammo counter, but what I wanted to do, I just put the voltmeter in here where the ammo counter is on the actual prop, just to kind of give it the same effect, and yeah, just gives it the look of the ammo counter, but it just kind of adds to the prop look of it. But yeah, as I say, this took a fair amount of time. The stock here, I fixed the stock. Obviously, we've got the wires running through the stock because this is now the battery compartment. So the stock is fixed in place, but it's extended at full length, so it's good size for a good adult. And yeah, just really happy how this turns out. It's looks fairly on par with an actual prop. It's not exact replica, but it's pretty good for a functioning Nerf blaster. It's pretty good. I do have the Hasbro one ordered. Can't wait till that arrives. That's going to be good fun as well. I might keep my Hasbro one just kind of stock. Might tweak the battery in it just so I can use LiPo in it. But I'm not sure if I'm going to paint it up or not. I might paint it up to match this, and I'll have the two of them. And then I could have one kind of slightly higher power than the other for different games or whatever. But yeah, this is mainly going to be for the personal collection and as a cosplay piece. So as it's going to be a cosplay piece, we left some orange here, orange trigger, nice orange barrel in the front there. And obviously just take standard full length mags. The 10 round mags fit perfectly inside here. Just got enough grip to take them out, but enough to kind of hide in the mag well. But obviously if you're playing, you could stick a longer mag in there quite easily. They just stick out a bit more. But for display purposes and cosplay purposes, the 10 round mag's pretty good. And I did measure these side panels just to cover that and no more. And yeah, it works out pretty well. There's enough orange visible on it for it to be used at a convention, I reckon. And yeah, as I say, real happy. Can't wait to get the rest of the costume finished. As I say, I've got a few. Need to start making armour now, but I've got a few of the other bits already gathered for it, and it should be a lot of fun. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you're at Foam Fest next weekend, this will be a display on my table, so you can pop along and have a look at it in person. And yeah, come say hello, and we will see you there. UWE Centre for Sports in Bristol, July 23rd, next Saturday. Yeah, we can't wait. The Foam Fest convention's really shaping up. Going to be a lot of people coming over, and it's going to be a good time to say hello to everyone. Anyway, thanks for watching, and make sure you follow us here on YouTube, over on Instagram, on Facebook. You can also help our Etsy page and see what we've got left on there. Obviously, we've still got some stuff available on the Etsy page, and any purchases from the Etsy page really help us out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Bye bye.